table. I didn't know it can draw these tables. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like this table. Can I click on it? Oh, wow, I can. Hey guys, today we're going to test Qwen 3 model a little bit by analyzing the financial report that I have in front of you here. So what I have here is the Tesla's financial report, financial projection using ARC methodology. And it has a lot of data, a lot of sheets, a lot of stuff that I have to read through. Now, I want to make my life easier and just use AI to help me to analyze this data so I can also continue to chat with it, ask follow-up questions and clarifications if I need to. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this URL, chat.qwen.ai. The link will be in the video's description as usual. You will probably have to register, so just create your free account. After that, once you are here, make sure that you have thinking enabled here, and then you can just upload the file. So it's important that you upload the original Excel file instead of CSV, because most often if you upload CSV, AI will not be able to access all the different sheets that you have here. So for example, like I have multiple sheets here, and if I export it in CSV, I may not preserve all the sheets, or AI might not be able to access them, all right? So make sure that you upload the original Excel file. So in my case, as you can see here, I have CSV as well, but instead I'm going to just drag and drop my Excel file here. And then we can start chatting and asking the questions that we would like to ask. So what I'm interested in is, how is the overall sentiment? What's the conclusion? Should we be optimistic about Tesla or pessimistic? All right, so I'm going to ask, based on this report, what's the sentiment overall? Should I be... Well, you know what, let's not skew the results here. So I'm just going to ask as it is, and then let's see what it will say. So Qwen model is a reasoning model, and it has a lot of tokens for thinking. If we click on the thinking button here, you can see you can even configure how much length you want to give it for thinking. It can think a lot, and the more it thinks, the better the results. However, sometimes I also find it thinking too much and then ignoring the output. So what it will do, it will think for so much tokens that the actual output, the actual answer will be very short. So sometimes you might want to configure this field. So for now, I think for this case, I wanted to think better. It's fine. I prefer it to think more because there's a lot of data, a lot of numbers, a lot of things to reason about, right? So let's keep it for the max amount right now. And that's actually a lot of tokens for thinking, as you can see here. And then we have the answer. So let's see. The overall sentiment for the report is bullish and optimistic, projecting strong growth for Tesla through 2025. Okay, so we have a bunch of indicators. Now, what I'm actually curious, okay, let's see. Revenue growth, projected revenue growth rates from 30 to 70 annually, reflecting confidence in Tesla's ability to scale operations. Market cap expansion. Okay, capitalization is forecasted to rise significantly. Let's see. Okay, what I'm going to ask, let's try to challenge it a bit. We're going to ask, do you think that the projected data is justified? So let's just try to see what Qwen will think about. So because it's a reasoning model, it's the best for this kind of tasks, like complex tasks when you need to think about the problem, not just give an answer. So your average, I wouldn't say average, but not non-reasoning model would simply give you straight away answers. For example, some language translations are like 2 + 2 is 4, right? But in case of reasoning, it's more capable in terms of providing a reason and more or less opinionated answer, because it will think through the problem first. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot of output now. So let's see. The projected data reflects highly optimistic assumptions about Tesla future growth, innovation, market dominance, while some aspects of projection are grounded in Tesla's historical performance and strategic initiative. The extreme bullishness raises questions about their realism. Yeah, so that's what I'm concerned about. So below is the analysis of key factors to determine whether the projections are justified. Projection, annual growth, 30-70%, okay. Plausible drivers, Tesla's expansion into new markets, okay. challenges. Sustaining growth at Tesla's current scale is unprecedented for a mature company. For context, Apple revenue grew 20% annually. Okay, all right. So traditional automakers for GMV rivals are aggressively scaling, which could erode Tesla market share. Okay. It mentions BYD here. Okay. Let's see. Profit margins. EBITDA margins of 13.58% with many scenarios above 40%. Justification, strength, Tesla's vertical integration. Okay. Margins could compress due to price wars, investment in new ventures. Okay, regulatory credits becoming a smaller portion of profits as the EV market matures. Sure. Okay. There is a bunch of things that it thinks about. Let's see what it says in the conclusion. So projections are justified only under ideal conditions. Okay. Tesla must sustain unprecedented growth across multiple industries. It must avoid major disruptions. Investors must continue assigning tech-like multipliers to Tesla despite its automotive roots. Upside potential. Tesla could reach 2 to 3K share by 2025. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. If it executes flawlessly and markets remain optimistic, downside risk, 1,015 share scenario is plausible if growth slows or competition intensifies. Aspirational scenarios rather than certainties. What? Let's ask. So I'm curious what would be more realistic projection based on your opinion. Right, opinion. Let's see if it can come up with kind of its own logical conclusions, but based on the data that we already have. If you notice that I have not enabled the search here, so if you enable the search, it will start to search through the internet, but I don't want to do it now. I'm just curious how it will reason about the existing data that we've fed it to, because I have more data to give it to think about, to be honest, but I just want to see how it will perform from one piece of data that I have right now. Let's see what it says here. Revenue growth, our projection. Oh, that's like cut more than half. 15-20%. Okay, rational. Revenue. 2023 revenue was 96 billion, sustaining 30% growth at this scale is unprecedented. Okay. It gives a good reasoning. I mean, it just went over the same points that it's covered here, I guess. Let's see what will say in conclusion. Okay, wow, it gives me some table. I didn't know it can draw these tables. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like this table. Can I click on it? Oh, wow, I can export it to CSV. Okay, that's not that. I did not expect that. Can I click? Okay, I can export it. Wow, that's cool. That's a very nice table. Cool. Let's see. Oh, wait. I can highlight it. What I can say here? Ask, explain. Okay, sure. A realistic projection balances Tesla's innovation execution capabilities with practical constraints. Revenue. 150, 180 billion by 2025. Sure. Margins. Okay, stock price. 600,000 share. I still have a feeling that it's a bit too much. But this sounds more realistic if you ask me. Not 2 or 3,000 per share just now. Market cap 1.5 trillion, reflecting leadership in EVs, energy, but not AI robotics dominance. Investors should treat ARK's upper bound scenarios as aspirational, but anchor expectations to conservative base out. Okay, sure. Yeah, and that's how we use Qwen tree to analyze the data. I'm pretty much satisfied with the results. And for anyone in doubt, if you want, just go ahead and try to send the file, try to chat with it and analyze the accuracy yourself. I trust this model. It's more or less aligned with what I saw in the spreadsheet. I didn't check in details, however, I think it's more or less aligned. And yeah, it's a very nice way to actually summarize the data, save some time a little bit for you, regardless whether you are a professional investor, someone who works in finance, just an average amateur person who is interested in finances, all right? Because I'm not an expert here, okay? I'm not going to lie, but I am involved in finance industry indirectly. Hence, I'm interested in these type of things. However, I do not have a lot of time sitting and analyzing all of this data. So what I would normally do, I would write some script maybe to help me to kind of process this data. But now we have AI, and moreover, we have Qwen 3. All right. So go ahead, try it out. Let me know how it goes. You can also send PDFs, Excels, a bunch of other file formats. You can just try on your own and let me know in the comments. And that's it. As usual, if you guys go to our profile on YouTube here, AI Wizard School, you can just click on this URL. If you are interested in anything related to AI, private AI, custom AI, AI strategy, AI workflows for your professional use case, for your company, just click on this link, myprivatellm.com. Book a call with us. We'll help you with everything. Thank you. Bye-bye.